What 100 grams of protein looks like. Visual guide for all diets. Your daily protein intake is a fundamental piece of your overall nutrition puzzle. Yet many people overlook just how crucial it truly is, or struggle to figure out how much they should be consuming. But here's where it gets controversial. Opinions vary widely, and misconceptions abound about exactly how much protein your body actually needs, and the best source to get it from. Many believe that hitting a specific number each day is necessary, but in reality, protein requirements are more about balancing your personal health goals, activity levels, and dietary preferences. The USDA's recent guidelines no longer focus on a fixed amount. Instead, they recommend a proportional intake based on your body weight and lifestyle. For instance, adults are advised to consume roughly 0.36 grams of protein per pound of body weight, or about 0.8 grams per kilogram. This means a 200-pound person would aim for approximately 73 grams daily, while someone lighter, like a 115-pound individual, should target around 43 grams. Understanding what this looks like in your daily meals can be tricky. Most of us don't naturally think in grams of protein when shopping or eating. That's why we're here to demystify portions. Whether you're a meat lover, a vegetarian, or a vegan, there are practical ways to visualize and plan your intake. We've compiled detailed examples of what 100 grams of protein looks like across different dietary preferences based on typical foods and their nutritional labels. Here's a quick breakdown for omnivorous eaters. You can reach around 100 grams of protein with foods like 2 eggs, roughly 12 grams, a serving of Greek yogurt, about 15 grams, some beef sausage, 14 grams, a single canned tuna, 27 grams, and add others like oats, deli ham, nuts, and bread. Altogether, these foods sum to just above 100 grams, about 103, making it an accessible daily target. For those who prefer animal proteins, achieving 100 grams is quite straightforward. For example, 4 eggs give you about 24 grams, a can of tuna adds 27 grams, 3 beef meatballs approximately 15 grams, some turkey bacon around 10 grams, and a few ounces of turkey breast contribute another 24 grams, totaling a neat 100 grams. Vegetarian diets also provide plenty of options. Think 4 eggs, 24 grams, oats, snack cheeses, some Greek yogurt, hemp seeds, peanut butter, and even protein-enhanced granola or powders. These combinations push close to 100 grams without relying on meat, but still meeting your body's needs. Vegan approaches require a bit more planning. Incorporating nuts, seeds, grains, plant-based protein powders, and vegan-friendly spreads can reach nearly 80 to 93 grams of protein depending on portions. Doubling up on nuts or seeds can help tip the scale closer to the 100-gram goal. Of course, striving for high protein intake isn't without risks. Overdoing it can have its downsides, including potential kidney strain or other health issues, so balance is key. Symptoms of protein deficiency, though less common today, can include brittle hair and nails, fatigue, weakened immunity, muscle loss, swelling, or mood changes. That said, most healthy adults can comfortably meet their needs through varied diets. Remember, this overview is educational and not meant to replace professional medical advice. Always check with a healthcare provider if you have concerns about your diet or health. Now, the real question stands. Are you closer to understanding how to tailor your protein intake to your lifestyle? Or are there still gaps you want to fill? And maybe more provocatively, do you think the current recommended values are too low, too high, or just right? Drop your thoughts below and let's get the conversation started. 5 protein mistakes you don't know you're making, plus how to fix them. Protein pitfalls. Are you making these costly mistakes? It's not just about how much protein you're eating, but when and where you're getting it from. Your age, activity levels, and overall health all play a role in determining your ideal protein intake. Protein is crucial for building and repairing muscles, organs, and skin cells, and it also influences metabolism, appetite, and immunity. But here's the kicker. Not all protein sources are created equal. In fact, some of the most common protein mistakes people make could be sabotaging their health goals. 1. Skimping on protein at breakfast. Many popular breakfast foods are low in protein and high in refined carbs, setting you up for hunger and cravings later in the day. Aim for 25 to 30 grams of protein at breakfast to promote satiety and balance blood sugar levels. 2. Overestimating peanut butter's protein power. Peanut butter may be nutritious, but it's not the protein powerhouse many believe it to be. With twice as many grams of fat as protein, it's best to consider it the source of healthy fats rather than a primary protein source. 3. Neglecting protein as you age. Older adults need more protein to counter age-related muscle loss and anabolic resistance. Aim for 0.45 to 0.54 grams of protein per pound of body weight if you're 65 or older. 4. Relying too heavily on red and processed meats. While red and processed meats are common protein sources, they're also high in saturated fat and sodium. Opt for healthier alternatives like poultry, fish, and plant-based proteins. 5. Missing out on seafood's benefits. Seafood is packed with protein, vitamins, minerals, and omega-3 fatty acids. Aim for at least 2 servings per week to promote brain and heart health and lower your risk of early death. 6. Forgetting about protein-rich plants. Beans, peas, and lentils are affordable, nutrient-dense sources of protein and fiber. Incorporate more pulses into your diet to support gut health, weight loss, and healthy blood sugar and cholesterol levels. By making these simple adjustments for your protein intake, you can optimize your health and well-being. Don't let these common protein mistakes hold you back any longer. How much protein is too much? Protein intake myths and facts explained. Have you ever wondered if there's such a thing as too much protein? In today's fitness-obsessed world, protein is everywhere, from protein-fortified cereals and pasta to water infused with this essential macronutrient. It's easy to get swept up in the hype, but the truth is, you're probably already getting enough protein for general health. According to the 2020 to 2025 Dietary Guidelines for Americans, most men aged 19 to 59 exceed the recommended daily allowance, RDA, of 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, primarily through meat, poultry, and eggs. But what happens when you start pounding eggs for breakfast, devouring chicken breast for lunch, and feasting on a massive steak for dinner, along with protein bars and shakes? Is there such a thing as too much of a good thing? For healthy adults, exceeding the RDA isn't necessarily a problem, up to a point. Experts say up to 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day is generally considered safe. Some research even suggests thresholds of up to 2.2 or 2.5 grams per kilogram might be tolerable for certain individuals, like bodybuilders or elite athletes. But remember, the RDA is designed to prevent deficiency, not to optimize metabolic health or body composition. Many fears about high-protein diets, such as kidney damage, calcium depletion, and dehydration, don't hold up for healthy individuals eating balanced diets. In fact, a 2024 meta-analysis of over 148,000 individuals found that higher protein intake was associated with a decreased incidence of chronic kidney disease. However, if you're managing or at risk for chronic health conditions, you shouldn't assume you get a free pass. The type and source of protein you consume are just as important as the quantity. Processed meats and protein isolates can negatively impact gut health and increase the risk of heart disease. They can also crowd out essential nutrients and lead to digestive issues. Once protein reaches the colon, it can be fermented by gut bacteria, producing potentially harmful metabolites. This can lead to gas, bloating, dysbiosis, intestinal permeability, and even systemic inflammation, increasing the risk of inflammatory bowel disease and colorectal cancer. Certain populations, such as those with obesity, type 2 diabetes, or digestive conditions, need to be extra cautious about the quantity and quality of protein they consume. If you're worried about your protein intake, don't stress too much. A modest daily intake of 1.2 to 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight should suffice for building or maintaining muscle. Aim for a balance of carbs and healthy fats to fuel workouts and support recovery. Spread your protein intake throughout the day to maximize muscle protein synthesis and minimize digestive distress. Choose lean, minimally processed protein sources like chicken, fish, eggs, Greek yogurt, tofu, beans, and lentils. These options are associated with a lower risk of heart disease and stroke compared to processed meats or protein powders with artificial sweeteners and additives. Poultry, fish, seafood, and plant-based proteins are healthier alternatives to red meat. which is a leading cause of death in many demographics. In conclusion, unless you're consuming an excessive amount of protein, enough to feed a small family, you probably don't need to worry. Pay attention to how your body responds to your protein intake and diversify your plate with more plants. Remember, the goal is balance, not extremes. So what do you think? Is there such a thing as too much protein? Is this just another fitness myth? Share your thoughts in the comments below.